Good morning, I'm Win Damon. Here's on Win's World on WJOP Radio. How about that? And we have a couple of guests with us today, Ben Iacono, Stuart Dean, and Joe Murphy. And they are all wearing their Newburyport Exchange Club hats today, although we don't have hats on, do we? But we do have them here because the Exchange Club is going to be doing the Field of Honor again, and that is coming up before we know it. And Stuart, welcome in. Why don't you tell us about the Field of Honor for folks that might not be familiar with it or may have forgotten it from the last couple of years?
Well, thank you for having us here today, Win. We're having our 8th Field of Honor on Sunday, September 10th at noon. And the field is a display of 350 to 500 flags that individuals purchase in honor of someone in their lives who served, whether it be military, fire, police, EMT, or a personal choice. We have a ceremony at noon that day with the flags in the background. The theme this year is honoring past and present. We wanted to make sure that current military personnel are acknowledged, and our speaker this year is Chuck Cove, who is the director and founder, actually, of the Peace Greeters in Portsmouth that make it a point of being present to welcome any troop unit either deploying overseas or coming back from overseas, and they give them food and token gifts and welcome them back from their service.
Yeah, so, the Peace Greeters, they've been doing that for quite a few years now, haven't they?
Yes. So we've done this honoring Vietnam veterans, World War II veterans, and this year we thought it would be nice to include currently serving military personnel. So Chuck was a good choice for that.
Oh, great. Now, Joe, why don't you tell us about how somebody might be able to get a flag, for example?
For us, this event gives us a chance to let Newburyport come together as a community. The purchase of flag, it's $40. The flag flies for a week on the mall, and at the end of it, you pick up the flag and the pole, you own it. Every year, some people come back, the same people. Every year there are new people. One of the things that allows us to put everything on at the price we can do it is corporate sponsors. Without corporate sponsors, we just wouldn't be able to complete the project. But again, for us, I'll tell you, there'll be about 1,000 people go through and walk through during the week. It's peaceful. It's lit at night. There are people who will be out there in the daytime. There'll be people out there at nighttime. It's worth taking in. If you can make it, the ceremony is brief on Sunday, and it commemorates veterans. It commemorates people that are important in your life. There also is a board honoring the people, and all the names of the people who have been honored or commemorated will be read off at the ceremony. It's worth coming. We look forward to seeing you. If you get the chance, walk through it. Walk through during the daytime, walk through at night, but come down and be part of it.
Yeah, it really is quite the scene to see all the American flags that are flying right by the Bartlett Mall. Again, for folks who aren't familiar where the Bartlett Mall is, it's right across from CVS. Which CVS now? But the one up on High Street. So it's a fantastic event. It really is. Now, Ben, as part of the Exchange Club, how did the Exchange Club get involved with this?
One of our members at one of our national convention that she attended came back with this idea, and it started 8 years ago as a potential fundraiser for the group. And many organizations, in addition to Exchange, throughout the country, utilize a similar type activity for that. And we came back and started that 1 year, and it worked out real well. It was well received by the community. It was centered around 9/11. We chose the 9/11 holiday. Some other organizations use Memorial Day or Veterans Day or something. There's always a patriotic type theme. And it started with focusing on around 9/11, but as the years went by, people chose to also honor personal heroes. And you see some of the dedicated messages as you walk through the field throughout. We all have personal heroes, in addition to military heroes, whether they're deceased heroes or heroes that are alive. And it's becoming quite an event for the community and the greater community to really step back and say, Jesus, I want to recognize and I want to remember this particular individual or this particular event that was very important to me or my family or my children. And one of the heartening thing is that you see a lot of families bringing the young children to walk through the field and explain and read the messages and use those as a teaching point as to what it means to be American, what it means to what the flag means, and what the message means, because each message is a history in itself.
So besides mentioning the person or having a flag to honor a person, you get to write out a short message that goes with it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, neat. Well, that works out really well. So, Stuart, is it? It's not too late for a corporation, a business, to get involved, or is it?
No, we're going through actually the 25th is the cutoff date for inclusion in our publicity for the field. So we're urging people that wish to participate to contact us before that date. Letters have been sent out, and we're free to take any sponsor that would like to participate in such a ceremony. Mm-hmm. This is our primary fundraiser. While it's both a service and a fundraiser at the same time, the Exchange Club is divided into 4 service areas: Americanism, which this one is, prevention of child abuse, and for that one we put, for example, teddy bears in local police cruisers and fire trucks for use with children in distress at accident scenes or domestic disputes. We do general community service, such as dinners at the Salvation Army, or a harbor cruise for senior citizens from local daycare centers. And then we have youth services, which our prime event is Kids Stay in the Park during Yankee Homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
So those are samples of the type of things that the funds are used for. Mm-hmm. Every penny, literally every penny that we raise goes to these services.
How about that? Now, Joe, have you been in the Exchange Club for a while?
I'm probably the newest member of the Exchange Club, which means you're last to the meeting and then you get to be president. One of the things that we are able to fund, Kids Day in the Park, for example, is totally free. There's hamburger, hot dogs, face painting, you can name it, for kids, and it's a great day. It breaks up Yankee Homecoming week, and year after year it gets larger and larger. This year there were over 500 people in attendance on it, and it's gotten larger every year we've done it.
I live around that Atkinson Park area, and I can't believe all the cars that are there, and all the kids and all the dogs. So it is a terrific event during Yankee Homecoming. Yeah. So I'm glad that you were able to join. So you're always accepting new members, isn't that right, Ben?
Yes, we are. We meet the first and third Tuesday of the month at Starbuck Galley. It's a dinner meeting. We welcome new members. We welcome just coming to one of our meetings and looking us over. And we're a small group. We're a very social group, but we get a lot of things done. And if you'd like to participate in a very worthwhile endeavor with a great bunch of people, we welcome you. And give us a call or look us up. We will be selling flags starting on the 6th of September at Bartlett Mall. Feel free to stop by. There's an opportunity to purchase flags right through the 9/11 day. We will be tearing down the field on the 12th, and people that have purchased the flags, as well as sponsors, will be able to pick up their flags. So come over. It's a great event. It's a great opportunity to see something that the community really comes together on.
This Saturday on the Mall,
Oh, you're going to be up there this Saturday in just a couple of days?
the bullnose.
Yes, good reminder. This coming Saturday, we will be at Market Square, and for information, and you can also purchase the flags this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Now,
in addition to being at the mall during the actual display time.
Now, sometimes somebody will purchase a flag, but they don't want to, or they want to donate it back to the cause. You can do that too.
Oh, absolutely. For those people who choose not to pick up their flags, we gladly take it back, and we use it for different things throughout the year. One of the significant things that we have with the residual flags that we have is we support the Lieutenant Derek Hines race, and we display over 100 flags throughout the race course, as well as support veteran services with Kevin Hunt, and any other organizations that can utilize the flags. We gladly donate them to those organizations.
Oh, that's fantastic. It really is. So it's the Field of Honor, and it's the 8th Annual Field of Honor, Greater Newburyport Field of Honor, coming up September 6th through the 12th. It'll be at the Bartlett Mall on High Street in Newburyport. And you are taking donations. People can get a flag and name it or in honor of a person. And it's just $40 a flag, which is actually a terrific price right there, isn't it? So
It's American-made flag.
American-made flag. That's a good thing too, which it doesn't always happen, but it happens for this event, so that's good. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us. Anything else that you wanted to add that we didn't touch upon? I know that you're always looking for people, and Stuart, I know you're always looking for speakers for the meeting.
Yes.
Do you have some speakers lined up that over the next couple of weeks?
This week, the current set of meetings, we've primarily been planning for the Field of Honor.
Okay.
But we always try to get a speaker at each meeting of local interest from someone like a police officer involved in one of our causes, a local newsmaker. Sometimes we have fun speakers. For example, the local woman that was on Jeopardy a while back came in,
Yeah.
or Max Lane, the expatriate left tackle, came in one time to speak. So we try to mix up seriousness and fun to keep the meetings lively.
Yeah. Well, then that's always a good thing, just to add a little bit more to it. And that's on the first and third Tuesday of the month at Starboard Galley, 6 o'clock at Starboard Galley on Water Street in Newburyport. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And
Thank you.
We'll keep reminding folks about this here on WJOP Radio. The 8th Annual Greater Newburyport Field of Honor, September 6th through the 12th at the Bartlett Mall, and it's put on by the Exchange Club of Greater Newburyport. We'll take a look at the news. We have Amesbury Mayor Ken Gray. He's going to be joining us, too, after the news. And it's all coming up here on WJOP Radio, WJOP LP, 96.3 FM in Newburyport, part of the Greater Newburyport Community Media Hub, and now airing the morning show on Comcast Channel 9 in Newburyport. I'm Damon on WJOP Radio, WJOP LP Newburyport, 96.3 FM, part of the Greater Newburyport Community Media Hub, now airing the morning show on Comcast Channel 9 in Newburyport. And our guest right now is Amesbury Mayor Ken Gray. And Ken, welcome into WJOP Radio. Nice to have you here.
Good morning, Lynn. Nice to be here. Beautiful facility.
It certainly is a beautiful facility, and yeah, looking forward to bringing in all the all of our guests.
I see you have a camera in here. Is that on the internet? Can people watch you on the WinCam?
Not quite yet. That's in the process. But right now, all throughout Newburyport, they can see you on Community Channel 9. That's Channel 9. So I guess you can... I guess you can get back for having Donna Holiday put a mayor sign in Amesbury.
I'll put one in the window here, right?
That could work. That would be interesting. Hey, we see that Amesbury's in the news. You got the Country Fest, and I guess you left your cowboy hat in the car.
I actually, in my boots and spurs, they clank too much. They make a little bit too much noise. But yeah, we're looking forward to it very much. I'm a big Charlie Daniels fan, so that'll be fun to see him. But some other big names are coming in, and the community's pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and my daughter loves Travis Tritt. I remember Cassandra Goa was all excited about Craig Morgan, so got a lot of headliners there.
That's right. So we hope to have a great turnout and make this maybe an ongoing event.
Well, I bet it will be. I remember when they did the redo of Landry Stadium a number of years ago, and they opened it up with a big headliner of he married
Lyle Lovett. I was there, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you were?
I was there, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. At the time, was he married to Julia Roberts?
I think they had just broken up. Or it was in trouble, or I think it was right after they had split.
Nothing to laugh about.
Yeah. He's not a pretty man.
Well, it was a match that you wouldn't expect.
He seemed like a nice man, though.
That's what I hear. Yeah,
he really can sing.
Yeah, he can sing, he can write, he can do a lot of things, and he helps a lot of people too.
Does he? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, talking about helping people. I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you on the radio since Amesbury Days occurred, and they had the big car show in Newburyport just a couple of weeks ago, and you had another nice, successful car show event during Amesbury Days.
We did last June, the first Sunday of Amesbury Days. I think it was the 26th, and we had a very successful car show, sort of enabled by absolutely picture-perfect weather. That's the big thing. People don't bring their beautiful cars out unless they know it's going to be very, very dry, and that was the case. So great show, and we had about 300 cars. I don't have a final tally, but that's the day of the show. That was a number that we thought it was up from about 250 the previous year. So it was a big increase.
Oh, wow. That is a big increase. I don't know. I don't even know where you put them all in downtown Amesbury.
All streets that are near the center of town.
Okay.
Main Street, Friend Street, and some of the little alley streets, a couple of municipal parking lots, a parking lot that belongs to McGinnis Auctions.
He opened it up?
Yes.
Oh, terrific.
So, it's a very community effort. I think the restaurants are fairly pleased with the turnout. It's a good day for them. People get hungry, and a lot of, I can't tell you how many comments from the car show, or the car people that came to Amesbury, about how beautiful a little downtown we have, and how happy they were to be there.
Oh, that's fantastic. And you brought your car to the Newburyport car show.
I did. That was a tremendous show. I don't know how many people. I haven't heard a count on that, but it had to be 10,000 people?
Well, they were estimating 10 to 15,000. That's a wide range, but we'll stick with 12. That's an easy one.
I have no ability to estimate crowd size, but it was impressive. Mm-hmm. And the cars there were also just spectacular. Again, beautiful night.
Yeah.
Just spectacular night.
Oh, yeah.
And the great cars turned out.
Now, what type of car do you have?
I have a red 1957 Thunderbird. I've had it for 30 years. So.
Oh, okay. Any like tie is that you have to it, and why do you have that car and not something else?
I was, as a kid, I was a kid, a young boy, a young lad when the car was first out in the mid '50s, and I always loved that car, and I always wanted to have one as a teenager. And then when I got into my 30s, I was old enough to buy it, and or I had enough resources to be able to buy one. And over the years, I've put a little little bit of a time, effort, and some money into it, and gotten it into a pretty nice shape. So.
Oh, nice. And you only take it out on good days too, right?
Right. I mean, I had the windshield replaced in I think 1996 or something, and the windshield wipers have never touched the glass, other than the rubber part laying on the edge where the wipers rest.
How about that? Wow.
So.
Well, again, it's been a little bit of time since I've been able to get you back on the radio. In your office, Alyssa has moved on, and you have somebody new.
Alyssa has left us, and Daniel Grayton from Methuen has come in to replace her, and we're in the process of changing sort of the responsibilities of the job to focus a little bit more on constituent services and communications.
Mm-hmm.
So we look forward to Dan making an impact, and we should see that developing over the next few months.
Of course, Evan is still there.
Evan is still there. Yes, Evan sort of keeps us together and makes sure everything gets done. He does a tremendous job.
Yeah, he's been there since your first campaign.
Since the beginning. Well, it was Evan came on after I was elected.
Okay.
And started with me in early January 2014.
All right. And I remember he was. He still is very young, but he was much younger then.
How's that song go? Much younger, and I don't know.
They'll play.
Yes, we all. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes I'll tell. Somebody will show me a picture, and I'll say, "Gosh, you look younger then."
Keen observation.
Well, thank you. Now, some other things that are happening in Amesbury. I know there was a story in the news this week about the Lower Mill Yard and I guess the Carriage Museum, the Biddle and Smart. I knew the building was there. I never pieced it together that was where Biddle and Smart Manufacturing was.
It was one of their buildings. It had a variety of uses over the years. But yes, you read correctly. We're in the process of working with the folks that manage the board of directors that manages the museum. There are several organizations that are sort of tied into that, and we're hoping that we can come to an amicable resolution and work with the folks to maintain the original vision of that section of town, which was a public use, certainly. Specifically a museum. Whether that can be done or not is another question. But we'll work through these things, and they're amenable to working with myself and the city council to come up with a solution.
Oh, that's good. The Lower Mill Yard is just a fantastic piece of real estate, and I know that you worked very hard to get that overlay district there.
Yeah, we've got, between the city, state, and federal government, depending on what pieces of property you count into the equation in that very immediate area, we've got somewhere between $10 and $20 million of the three levels of government invested in it. So it's significant, and the vision has always been to put primarily a museum, but a public use for the park. So we maintain the vision, and we hope to make it happen.
Oh, that's terrific. You got to have that vision. That's what leads to the final resolution of things. So that's a good thing.
And sometimes reality pops in, and they've had some issues with funding. So we've got to work through to sort of address the issues and come up with a solution that's acceptable to everybody.
And I don't think I've had a chance to talk to you. You've had some changeover, police and fire too, right? New chief.
We have a new police chief.
Yeah.
Bill Schultz took over July 1st. Has it been that long since we've talked?
I think so, yeah.
It's 2 months. That's unusual. But we know why. And so Bill Schultz has taken over. Bill has 25 years in Amesbury and about 35 years in law enforcement. Very well respected and liked in town. He's going to do a tremendous job for us. Two guys also moved up as a result of that. Craig Bailey has moved up to the executive officer. He's now a lieutenant. And Kevin Donovan has moved up to a lieutenant.
Okay.
So a lot of changes.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say for the good, because we have a really solid police organization, well-liked, well-managed. Community policing is at the core of what their mission is, rather than law enforcement. Not that they don't do law enforcement, but there's a transition going on across the country, and we're in the middle of that, where sort of the totality of relationships with the community actually help keep crime down. And it's called community policing, and it's a wonderful concept. So Kevin Allett, who was the previous chief, did a magnificent job. So Bill Schultz will maintain that.
Now, talking about the public safety part of things, I remember, I think it was last week that the story was in the paper about the old fire station on Elm Street.
Yeah, the fire station. That goes back. I think that fire station was built in the early 20th century, like
114 years.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you have it. Yeah. And at the time, I guess it had a wooden floor. There's a basement, so the floor that the equipment rests on. And back then, the equipment was basically a carriage, maybe a heavy one, because it might have had a boiler on it or something.
Yeah.
But now you've got fire engines laden with water. I mean, what's the saying is a pint's a pound the world around. Well, some of these fire engines carry 2,500 pounds of water, gallons of water, which can add up to over 2 tons by the time it's over with. So you've got this tremendous weight, and over the years, it's the floor, which is now cement, by the way. It was changed to a cement floor 50 or 60 years ago. Some of the supporting structure in the cement floor, rebars, the steel rebars, have deteriorated. So we're looking into it. We've got an engineering firm looking into it and telling us what it's going to cost, and we'll make a decision on what we're going to do in the near future.
Okay. Well, always something. It's municipal government is always interesting, isn't it?
Right.
Now, being the mayor, you also sit on the school committee, and we are not that far away from the beginning of school.
In fact, yesterday morning was the sort of the welcoming breakfast for our new teachers and their mentors, and the principals were all there, and the heads of the head of our student learning group was there. And of course the superintendent and Effie. Effie is who sponsors it, and a beautiful breakfast. I mean, if you know Maggie Furlong, Maggie can cook, and she just, I mean, it's amazing what the spread was. That's enough to give you an incentive to get there in the first place. But it's wonderful. So that's the indication that it's kicked off.
Yeah.
So the new teachers will be going through a few days of sort of I don't want to use
Initiation
and in learning sort of the ways and the what's and where their classrooms are, et cetera, and who the players are and people we'll be interacting with. So that'll take place over the next few days, and school starts I believe the Friday before Labor Day.
Okay. Yeah.
It's before Labor Day this year, which talking to some of the administrators, they like this. We'll see.
All right. Well, that will be fun.
We're looking
This
forward
is
to it. Always
this is
great fun of the
Gary
year.
Reese's third year or third September.
Gary started, I believe, in mid-2015.
Oh, okay.
So he's just finishing his second year.
Second year. Okay. Great. And you were happy with the budget process for the schools, the funding, right?
Yes, it turned out well. This is the third consecutive year after 10 years or so of cuts every year to teachers and programs. This is the third consecutive year where we've put back every single year. And over the 3 years, we've added teachers, we've added programs, we've cut class sizes, we've reduced bus fees and athletic fees. So we're making a lot of progress on all fronts. It's a continuum. We have a lot of work to do, but there's a new attitude in the schools that you can sense as you walk around, instead of everybody at budget season holding their head down wondering who's going to to get laid off, it's very positive. What are we going to be able to add this year?
Oh, that's
what new
great.
things can we do? So people are now people responsible for setting policy, people responsible for inputting to the policy decisions and the strategic decisions, do so now with more of an optimistic attitude that the things that they come up with, the work they do, has a chance of coming to fruition. So.
Excellent. We're talking with Amesbury Mayor Ken Gray and talking about adding things. I noticed that on 110, right across from Amesbury Chevrolet, there's something being added over there.
Amesbury Chevrolet itself is doing an addition. They're adding to the service capability and adding some building space. I don't know if you're referring to the 110 and Route 150 intersection.
Yeah, that one,
There's construction going on there. That's across, the Andy Mann's is at that intersection.
Oh, that one too, that. No,
That intersection has the highest rate of crashes in the city. They need to be called crashes now. They used to be called accidents, but apparently the insurance industry balks at accidents because that implies someone's not at fault. So it becomes.
Oh.
But anyway, so they're
Semantics.
officially, yes, it's semantics, but officially now they're referred to as crashes.
Okay.
But anyway, the big deal there is we will be adding turning lanes and lights that are timed for left turns and such. So it's a big improvement. It should drastically cut down on the number of accidents. Concurrent with that is as you go east on Route 110 towards Merrimack, maybe 200 yards away from that intersection with 150, they're putting in a left turning lane to get into the new apartment development to make it safer than it would be otherwise.
And that was all part of something that I think State Representative Jim Kelcourse got involved with to get some state money for that?
We got money from the state, yes.
Okay.
Both of our legislative delegates, Katie Ives as well as Jim Kelcourse, were involved at that level. We write the grant at the local level, and we all work together to get the money. So
That's good. That's important.
And what do we get? Like $1.2 million to do that intersection, which is good.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking of the Elm Street 110 intersection across from Burger King. There's, I want to say, a medical building that's going in there.
Oh, yeah, okay. So a little bit down Elm Street, maybe 200 yards towards Amesbury Center. Yes, Pentucket, our Partners Medical, of which Pentucket here in Newburyport's part of, will be moving their facility over there in about another year. I think actually about 18 months. They're getting ready to break ground. They're into the planning process. So we're very excited about having them come over to Amesbury.
Terrific. Always something to talk about.
There is. There absolutely is.
Anything, once you get going, anything else that came to your mind?
No, actually, I had jotted a few things down. You hit them all.
Oh, dear.
Welcome to your new gig.
Well, thank you very much.
And I know you'll continue to do a great job.
Well, thank you. Yeah, on the radio, 96.3 FM, low power, so it goes roughly 5 to 10 miles. That's the coverage area right there. Eventually, we'll be streaming on the web, so it covers worldwide at that point.
Nice.
My goal is, as I do my planning, is to see if we can get a phone app. That would be fun too. Mm-hmm. And then
it'd be like our iHeartRadio, or
this would be WJOP Radio.
WJOP Radio.
You could download the app worldwide, and they can hear all about what's happening locally. It's all about local access, and Newburyport, Amesbury, Salisbury. That's our world.
A lot of people miss WNBP and just sort of like you say, the local angle on news over the radio. So
definitely, yeah.
And those of us our age missed the programming too. So.
Well, hey, thank you very much. All right, well, Ken, thank you, and then we'll see you around.
Thank you for having me, Wim.
Oh, my pleasure. Amesbury Mayor Ken Gray, our guest here on WJOP Radio, WJOP 96.3 FM, Newburyport.